I know that he is the Mexican president.
But can you tell me his name?
No.
Amy Klobuchar, who is running for president, wasn't able to name the president of Mexico during an interview with Telemundo. And last I checked, the United States of America borders Mexico. This clip is incredible. And it's also very embarrassing. So if you are a little squeamish like me when it comes to things like this, maybe look away as you listen. But check this out. It is just straight up sad.
What do you know about the Mexican president?
Okay, well, what I will tell you is that I will visit Mexico in the first 100 years. 100 days.
100 days.
I will visit there.
Are running for president.
Yes.
You would like to be the
Yes.
Democratic candidate.
Yes.
What do you know about the Mexican president now?
Well, I know that he is elected in the last few years. I don't know him personally. I've met with the ambassador, and I was actually supportive of the trade agreement. So I worked with the embassy on that. They came to meet with me.
And I ask because it's so important, especially Nevada, California, Arizona, Texas. This is our neighbor to the south.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about him? Specifically his politics, what he's doing, since this would be the country you would share a border with. Anything you can tell me about him?
I know that they are neighbors, and regardless of who the leader is, that it is someone that I will work with.
Do you? I'm sorry to ask this, but do you know who he is? Do you know his name?
Yeah. I know that he is the Mexican president.
But can you tell me his name?
No. So.
Don't you think it would be important if you're running for president to know who the president of Mexico, the country to the south of the United States, is?
Yes.
Because it affects so many Americans. Mexican Americans are the largest Hispanic, the largest number of Hispanics in the U.S. are Mexican Americans.
Of course it is, yes.
Unbelievable. Amy Klobuchar is running for president. Can't name the president of Mexico. Again, this isn't some random country. I get it. I mean, me as somebody, I forget names all the time. I'm the worst with names. But if you're running for president, you should know, at the very least, you should know the Prime Minister of Canada, and you should know the President of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. Or you could say AMLO. It's 4 letters, AMLO. So this is just totally embarrassing. And, I mean, the other part of this is, look, we don't expect you to have to know, his entire platform, but at least know kind of what he's about. Understand that he's a more progressive leader than in the past. And for people at home that don't know this, that's fine. You're not running for president. People sometimes are a little too empathetic with moments like this, where they think, oh, well, Amy Klobuchar doesn't know, but I don't know either, so it's perfectly okay. You're not running for president. Amy Klobuchar is running for president. Amy Klobuchar has to know who the president of Mexico is. Just unbelievable. And this is worse, I think, than when Gary Johnson, back in 2016, the Libertarian candidate, Gary Johnson couldn't name or didn't know what Aleppo was. So, again, this is Mexico. This isn't some random country in the middle of the Pacific. This is friggin' Mexico. And it appears Klobuchar was not very happy with the interview, as Alex Thompson tweets out here. Oh boy, Telemundo write-up says Klobuchar ended the interview early, so abruptly she took her mic with her that day. She did name AMLO in another interview, and then came back to Beneas to say, so you see that I know more than you think. Yeah, after you looked at Google, you couldn't figure out who the leader in Mexico was. And this moment, if this happened to a candidate that the media didn't like when it happened to Gary Johnson, or if it happened to Bernie Sanders, or if it happened to Andrew Yang or Tulsi Gabbard, they would be all over this. They would be asked about this over and over again. They would make a huge deal out of this. Amy Klobuchar was on a bunch of news shows over the weekend after this interview, wasn't asked at all about this. It shows you how biased the media is, how they always have a slant while pretending that they don't. So it's one thing. Look, I'm super progressive or super left wing, whatever you want to say. I have a particular worldview that I don't hide, but so does the media. Yet they hide it. They have a particular worldview that favors corporatism, that favors corporate control and wealthy control of politics. That is their worldview, because these are massive media companies making billions of dollars or worth billions of dollars. And the people that run these massive companies are also billionaires, millionaires. Like, all these people are incredibly wealthy. The people on television, incredibly wealthy. They have a particular worldview that benefits their wealth, their power, but they hide it. They pretend like they're looking at this race objectively or through, a neutral lens, when they are not. On top of that, I could have showed this clip too, but it's not as embarrassing, I guess. Tom Steyer couldn't name the Mexican president either, but he at least knew a little more about his politics than Amy Klobuchar did. So, and also, look, I know Tom Steyer should also know all of this. He's running for president, but he's also a billionaire. He's not a senator. Amy Klobuchar is a freaking senator. Like, she's not plucked out of the blue running for president. She is a senator. She discussed how she supported the new NAFTA, which includes Mexico, and she couldn't name the president of Mexico. This should be discussed in the press, on television, everywhere. This should be focused on, in addition to Amy Klobuchar's horrible history in other areas as well. That said, I mean, she's not that much of a threat. Sure, she got, third place in New Hampshire, but this campaign ain't making much more of a dent. But if she somehow gains some steam somewhere, this has to come up, because it shows a total blind spot in her just complete lack of awareness. And it also shows you, people have this idea that, these moderates, like these corporate Democrats like Amy Klobuchar, they know exactly what they're doing. They know, or people think that they know that they are lying to people about policies like Medicare for all. I don't think they do. What clips like this show me is that, yes, they are dumb. They are not fooling people into thinking that their worldview is the correct worldview. No, they honestly think what they discuss, which is also part of the reason why Amy Klobuchar is one of the more authentic people out there in this race anyways, because she authentically thinks, she actually thinks her worldview is the correct worldview. But understand, in her worldview, that also includes ignoring the rest of the world. Like, who leads Mexico? Just crazy.